We have to go on a second round on this to explain some things to some people out there about preemptive pardons by a president of the United States, Joe Biden. Let's clear up real quick that I had said they had never been done, but there had been some kind of a precedent before. President Gerald Ford did a preemptive pardon on President Richard Nixon after he resigned, given that he was never charged with a crime and he was never convicted of a crime. But he gave him a pardon, partly just to get past that embarrassment for the Republican Party and in the nation overall, and not to drag the government through that after he left office. But now with the preemptive pardons that President Biden passed on over, as I mentioned before, his former chief medical advisor, Anthony Fauci, or his general from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, and also his family members, congressmen from the committee that investigated January 6th, 2021, the attack on the Capitol. And many people are saying, oh, if they're innocent, why they need pardons? Because of Trump. Because he's a vindictive, unethical person. And because of the things he said during the whole time he was being investigated. Or because some of those people criticized him after they left his administration. He called, for example, for General Milley to be executed because he criticized him. And he said, I don't agree with what I did under his orders, and I don't think he's suitable or fit to be a president. General Milley didn't do anything legal, but he did it because too many Trumpers out there and followers of Trump believe what he says blindly without proof. Same thing with Anthony Fauci, Dr. Fauci, who has devoted his life to help the nation in medical crisis like HIV, AIDS in the 1980s under President Reagan, and with COVID 4 years ago. And people are making him out to be this evil, Dr. Evil guy, which he's not. But given the way that Trump has acted and spewed venom and lies, everybody thinks that they did something bad. And yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is human. But he never has been willfully evil. Or General Milley. Or the committee members of January 6th. They exposed the truth of what Trump did on that day against our nation and our democracy in our constitutional republic. And he's trying to prevent abuse of power and get trumped up charges against these servers of the people, pretty much. Same thing with his family. He passed pardons, of course, on Hunter, his son, on tax and gun charges, that if you look at those charges, you compare with other people charged with those very same crimes, most of the time they get just probation and things like that. But knowing Trump, we try to drag him through the mud and make him suffer because he's a vindictive person. And everybody knows this. All Trumpers know this. He's a vengeful, angry, hateful person. Anybody who doesn't bow to him makes him upset. So that's pretty much why it was passed. And while we are at it, let's talk briefly about the people that were pardoned by Trump after he came back into office. People that he should have pardoned, and he didn't. Why? Because they did not bow to him. For example, his former lawyer, fixer, Cohen. He was in jail a few years on the hush money case that he was convicted on in New York. And he's trying to get those charges dismissed. He was sentenced this month, received no jail, no fine because he became president, but he's guilty as charged. Just like Michael Cohen, his lawyer. Same crime, similar crime, paying a porn star with campaign money and hiding it and lying about it. Why is he not pardoning Michael Cohen if he says he's himself innocent and it's a witch hunt? Why not forgive him too? Pardon him. Because he's angry because he decided to not stand by him anymore and his lies and his unethical behavior. He decided to clean up and say, hey, I'm going to be honest. I made bad. I'm not going to support the guy anymore. Same thing, all those people that are in Georgia facing charges that had been dismissed now because he became president. He's still guilty, but all those people have been charged and convicted. All of them. Some of them are still processing, like his former lawyer, Jenna Ellis. She was defending him. You can go back and watch her videos, swearing up and down there was fraud in Georgia. You can check on Kenneth Cheeseborough, same thing. Oh, the Kraken lawyer, Sidney Powell, who accused the Venezuela and Dominion Machines and Estermatic about how these machines rigged the vote for Biden and stole from Trump, which was a lie. And she also got in trouble. She's facing charges. She's going on down to the end and paying for it. And all these people had agreed to testify against the Lion King, the conman in chief, the convict in chief. Why isn't he pardoning them? Because they didn't stand by him 100% on his lies and decided, hey, we did bad. We admit it. We're going to testify against him as well. That's proof right there that Trump is corrupt. He's pardoning the ones that stand with him 100%, even despite lies. But the ones that turn around and say, hey, I did wrong, I'm sorry, he won't forgive them. He won't pardon them. So, I mean, I hope that clears up a little bit of the confusion that you're having about the preemptive pardons. Now that these people are protected from his incoming administration, and pay attention to this. The people that are coming into his administration are people that are not just normal, objective public servants. These are Trumpers that push the big lie about massive election fraud and rigged elections. Example, the former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. After she left Florida government and she went into private practice in 2019, she still went on the shows on Fox and other right media to say that there was rigging, there was a stolen election. Same thing with the other guy that he wants to make FBI director, Kash Patel. He's another guy that worked under his administration last time, and now he wants to make him the FBI director. And this guy's also pushing the same lies. Massive election fraud, rigged election. And then you have the guy that got confirmed today, or yesterday, was it last night? Pete Hegseth, the Fox News maggot, who's been pushing also the same thing through this show. Conspiracy theories about the massive election fraud, which Fox was fined almost $1 billion for lying, and they pay for it to settle because they don't want to deal with it because they know they're lying. All these people are following Trump's lies. And you think these people who are lying, pushing election fraud lies, are going to be honest about not pursuing all these people that got preemptive charges on false charges and made up charges? I mean, it's common sense, right? So if you doubt it, hey, get online, research, read the biographies. Read each of their biographies and see where they are, the kind of people they are and where they stand. They're not objective. Like, I give you a small example. The Secretary of Defense under President Bush was the same Secretary of Defense under Obama. They're supposed to be nonpartisan, not with one president, not with one party. They're supposed to be neutral. And Robert Gates, who was under President Bush, President Obama, he served both of them objectively. And he left after he served. We don't have that right now. We have only Trumpers in there now. Loyal to Trump, but not the country. Like Theodore Roosevelt said once, somewhere along the lines, you stand by the country. You don't stand by a president or any public official. I hope that makes the point. Yeah, have a good one. Stay warm.